This weekend at Stamford Bridge, the stage is set for a blockbuster showdown. Chelsea hosting the reigning champions, Liverpool. The Blues come in on the back of a hard-fought win over Benfica in Europe, while Liverpool arrive wounded, still reeling from a painful defeat to Galatasaray. Both sides desperately need victory. Arne Slot's men to steady the ship and keep hold of the summit. Enzo Maresca's Chelsea to stay in touch with the chasing pack. Something has to give. Or perhaps nothing will, and we'll see the spoils shared once again. Football, after all, has a cruel way of exposing teams in the tiniest of moments. And both Chelsea and Liverpool know that truth all too well heading into this Premier League Matchday 7 clash. For Liverpool, the trip to London carries the weight of expectation, but not the comfort of momentum. 2 consecutive defeats, one to Crystal Palace in the league, another to Galatasaray in Europe, have punctured the aura of invincibility they had built. To make matters worse, Alisson Becker's injury has ripped out the very heart of their defensive stability. With the world-class Brazilians sidelined, the responsibility now falls to backup keeper Giorgi Mamardashvili, untested in the unforgiving cauldron of English football. Suddenly, every aerial ball, every long-range strike from Chelsea could carry the danger of disaster. Chelsea, though, are hardly in a position to exploit that weakness without their own problems. Maresca is forced to juggle a patched-up squad, stripped of key figures. Losing Cole Palmer, the creative heartbeat of his team, is a hammer blow, compounded by suspensions to Levi Colwill, Liam Delap, and Trevoh Chalobah. Yes, the win over Benfica injected some belief, but scratch beneath the surface and the flaws are glaring. Resilience in moments, but fragility when focus slips. In other words, neither side enters this clash at full strength, and paradoxically, that is what makes it so compelling. History reminds us what Chelsea-Liverpool games bring: drama, tension, and memories etched into football folklore. From those epic Champions League duels of the 2000s to nail-biting league encounters in recent years, this fixture always delivers unpredictability and fire. Liverpool may boast the edge in head-to-head victories, but that statistic means little under these circumstances. The balance is precarious. One team with firepower up front but cracks at the back. The other missing crucial pieces but capable of springing surprises. This is more than a battle for 3 points. It's a test of spirit. The side that bends but does not break, that turns adversity into fuel, will walk away smiling when the final whistle blows. And perhaps that's the beauty of it: imperfection. It's the flaws that will set the stage for a match so raw, so uncertain, that fans simply won't be able to look away, not for a single second. Under Arne Slot, Liverpool have begun to take on a fresh tactical identity, one that marks a clear departure from the high-octane days of the Klopp era, where Jurgen Klopp's Reds once pressed relentlessly, charging forward with little regard for the risks behind. Slot has introduced a more calculated approach. Pressing is no longer a permanent state of chaos. It's a weapon of choice, deployed at the right moment. Now, Liverpool pick their traps carefully. When the ball drifts across midfield, when an opposing fullback is stranded by the touchline, or when a goalkeeper dallies a second too long. The intensity is still there, but measured, surgical. The result? Fewer gaping holes at the back, more recoveries in dangerous areas, and lightning-fast transitions with numbers already in advanced positions. Flexibility is the heartbeat of Slot's Liverpool. The days of leaning almost exclusively on wing play are gone. Instead, the Dutchman has built a possession structure rooted in control through the middle. From the back, a fullback often tucks inside to form a back three, while the double pivot, players like Alexis Mac Allister or Ryan Gravenberch, drops deep to recycle possession. This creates a 3-2 build-up shape, secure enough to resist pressure, but progressive enough to open central passing lanes. And when the wings are needed, they use them with purpose. Fullbacks like Jeremy Frimpong and Milos Kerkez surge high, stretching defenses and carving out those coveted half spaces where Slot's best attacking patterns take shape. It's this morphing structure that allows Liverpool to overload midfield and potentially force opponents like Chelsea into reactive, deep-lying blocks. But perhaps the most striking shift is one of rhythm. Gone are the days of Liverpool as a pure whirlwind, playing every game as though it were the final 5 minutes. Slot's vision is of a side that knows when to hold, when to slow, and when to explode. In theory, that control over tempo puts the opposition in a constant chase, unable to dictate terms. When the press clicks and the possession game hums, Liverpool become a side both difficult to break down and devastating on the counter. And yet, theory hasn't fully translated into flawless execution. The system still looks uneven at times. Florian Wirtz, brought in as a supposed centerpiece, has struggled to adapt to the Premier League rhythm, while Mohamed Salah's dip in form has left a noticeable void in the final third. These are teething problems, but they matter in a league where margins are razor-thin. Still, there's no wavering from Slot's philosophy. The club invested heavily to reshape the team in his image, and the belief is that patience will pay dividends. Liverpool may not yet be the finished article, but the blueprint is clear. A team evolving from chaos to control, from raw intensity to a more refined, deadly balance. In contrast to Liverpool's controlled chaos, Enzo Maresca's Chelsea are crafting a game built on structure, precision, and tactical discipline. The cornerstone of it all lies in their build-up from deep. Instead of simply clearing their lines, the Blues aim to keep the ball at their feet, opening passing lanes straight from their own penalty box. In the first phase, a holding midfielder, often Moises Caicedo, drops between the centre-backs to form a back three and provide balance. The full-backs stretch as wide as possible, pulling apart the opponent's press, while Enzo Fernandez or Andre Santos drop back as connectors. This setup creates passing triangles that not only preserve possession, but also minimize risk when teams like Liverpool press aggressively. From there, the half spaces become Chelsea's battlefield of choice. Maresca treasures these zones, where clever movers like Estevan or Neto slip between the lines. Their presence forces defenders into dilemmas. Does a centre-back step out, leaving the box exposed, or does a full-back tuck in, abandoning the flank? Once Chelsea establish control in those pockets, they can play quick 1-2s to break through, switch the play to exploit the far side, or pull the trigger from distance. This constant half-space probing makes them unpredictable, capable of both creating chances and dictating tempo. In transition, Chelsea stand apart from most Premier League sides. Rather than surging forward instantly, they string together 2 or 3 short passes to reset shape before accelerating. That pause gives forwards like Pedro or Alejandro Garnacho the chance to time their runs and explode into space. This measured approach reduces the risk of an immediate turnover while keeping the game under their control. Even under heavy high press, Chelsea don't panic. Maresca urges his players to stay calm, to bait opponents into pressing traps and then exploit the space behind. Goalkeeper Robert Sanchez often steps in as an auxiliary centre-back, circulating possession and ensuring a numerical advantage right from the first line. If Liverpool push their entire block forward, Chelsea look to break free through third-man combinations and quick triangular patterns, moves that can instantly unleash a runner into acres of space behind the Reds' defense. This is Maresca's Chelsea, disciplined, deliberate, and constantly searching for control, even in the most chaotic moments. A side that turns composure into a weapon and structure into opportunity. Liverpool head to Stamford Bridge carrying a major setback. Alisson is sidelined with injury, leaving Mamardashvili to step in between the posts. At the back, the Reds are expected to stick with Jeremy Frimpong and Milos Kerkez, using their energy to both support the attack and track Chelsea's pace out wide. In midfield, Arne Slot may lean on the pairing of Alexis McAllister and Ryan Gravenberch to provide balance, one eye on winning the ball back, the other on building play. Up front, Mohamed Salah remains the undisputed spearhead, joined by Alexander Isak and Cody Gakpo, with Florian Wirtz pulling the strings behind them in the number 10 role. Chelsea, meanwhile, face their own injury storm. Cole Palmer is sidelined for 2 to 3 weeks with a groin problem, Tosin Adarabioyo is out with a calf injury, and Andre Santos is still unavailable. That leaves Enzo Maresca no choice but to shuffle his pack. Robert Sanchez stands as the last line of defense, with a back four of Marc Cucurella, Jorel Hato, Benoit Badiashile, and Malo Gusto in front of him. In midfield, Moises Caicedo partners Enzo Fernandez, tasked with both breaking up play and launching attacks. Out wide, Estevão or Juan Pedro could carry the threat, while Facundo Buonanotte is set to shoulder the creative load in Palmer's absence. Juan Pedro, meanwhile, is expected to lead the line. With both sides forced into adjustments, this clash won't just be about tactics. It will be a collision of willpower, pride, and the futures both managers are trying to build. For Liverpool, it's about reaffirming their identity under Slot. For Chelsea, it's about resilience in the face of adversity. Whatever the outcome, one thing is certain. Stamford Bridge will be the stage for raw, unfiltered drama. 90 minutes packed with emotion, where every attacking spark could tilt the match, where every mistake could prove fatal. This is not just another league fixture, it's a Premier League showdown. So, who do you think will rise to the occasion? Drop your predictions in the comments, and until next time, thanks for watching and see you soon.